Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Tech Talk Live. If you guys follow me at all this last year, you know that one of the people who's been very active in our group, very active in the industry, and she's a brand new tech. She's only been licensed a little over a year, but what she's doing is putting herself out there, and it's Carmel O'Rourke. And I cannot wait to share her with you. A little behind the scenes, Carmel is the reason that I even know about crunchies. And so you guys know that I've had this fascination. I've made many posts about it. I've talked a lot about crunchies. And so we're going to talk a little bit about my favorite candy and how Carmel for a year or a little over a year has kept me and my family supplied endlessly with crunchies, curly whirlies, and other candies. And so I just can't thank enough. Hello, oh my gosh, Dave and Haley and Sheena. Oh my gosh, I love all you guys so much. So let's get Carmel on here. Where's she at? She's hiding. Hello, Miss Sheena. Okay. I love that, we can have these international groups like these. It allows us to connect from every level. Carmel won't let me. Carmel, I want to make sure your phone is sideways because it's not allowing me to connect with you for some reason. Well, hey, Greg Salo, how are you? Long time no see. We should bring you back on with a new update since we've done these tech talks, so you've come out with some new products that we need to know more about as well. Carmel and I just connected behind the scenes, so we know that we can, but for some reason now I can't seem to bring her on. You gotta love how technical issues can happen sometimes. All right, Carmel, I went the roundabout way and hit it. So let's hope. Let's try. Hello, Jode. Hello, everybody. Good morning on my end and good evening on your end. Hi, sweetheart.
Hello.
I was just saying, in this last year and a half that you and I have met online, what a friendship we have developed. And we talk to each other
Absolutely.
continuously. And I mentioned crunchies already.
Oh, well, I always think of cash. That's what I think of. Uh, all those late night lives.
Oh, yes. So many, huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll
Yeah.
just take out one and leave in one. That sounds better.
Well, anyways, good afternoon on your end. It's what time is it here? 11 o'clock here. And so what time is it there?
It is almost 10 after 6.
Okay, so around dinner time or so. And I'm still at
Yeah.
breakfast. I'm double fisted, obviously,
Ah,
with my Nailchemy cup. And
absolutely.
yeah, so I got my hot and my cold and my crunchies. So I'm pretty
Oh
set
yeah,
for
you have
start of Monday.
you have to have crunchies.
Yes, absolutely. So just to kind of give a little bit of history of Carmel and I, you guys know that I like to do pop-up lives. I like to do nail tutorials, and I was very active doing that. And I still do it a lot, but Tech Talk kind of took over a lot of the time that I used to invest in doing that. And Carmel would join in some of these lives, and I got to know her. She was fun, and we'd private message each other. And I don't know how we ever got into where you started mailing crunchies. I've mailed you a little gift basket and just created this friendship. And then it continued with this inspiration that you took to the next level. And I just want to share all of that because you are somebody that needs to be spotlighted. You are so inspirational. And I love that you're a new tech, but yet Carmel, you're making waves in the nail industry. You are setting some high
Oh,
standards and you're helping all these new techs and even vet techs like myself learn back to the basics with your beginner's corner. And so let's kind of put all of that on hold. Let's go back. What got you to even want to be in the nail industry? It's frozen. There you are.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there.
It's okay. It happens. We just wing it and we go with it. And so what inspired you to want to become a nail tech?
I was thinking about this today, and what inspired me was I have two brothers who live in the US, and I used to go to visit them quite a lot. And that was the first time I ever had my nails done. In a way, it must be 25 years ago. And I got acrylic nails done, and I immediately was addicted. So much so that I got like a trial kit, like what they used. And because my husband was a well, they call them panel beaters here, he fixed crash cars.
Okay.
Um, he said to me, it's just like putting fillers on a car. I'll be able to do it for you. Yeah, so he actually did acrylic on my nails, I'd say for about 3 years.
I love
Yeah.
it.
So that's how I got into them. And then I was just obsessed. I always, always, always had my nails done. I have it started off as just psoriasis. So I'd always had very, very poor nails. So in order to have anything that I thought looked nice, I had to have some kind of enhancements on them. So I always, always had mine done. But then I always, in the back of my head, thought, that's a career I'd love, but I'm a qualified nurse.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't something that I thought would ever, ever materialize. And then because of health reasons, I had to give up my nursing. And then that's when I thought maybe I should go to college and become a nail tech
Yes.
at the ripe old age of 54, 53, 54. Yeah, 53, I think. Yeah. So that's exactly what I did. And I have to say, and that was how I met you because I was so frustrated in college because I don't know if things are different over there, but here you're kind of led to believe that you go to school, you will learn all this, and then next thing you can work as a nail tech.
Yeah. And make
And
lots of money.
absolutely. And that's how you and I got very friendly, Amy, because I was so frustrated and kept saying, I can't do this. Do you remember I had this whole thing with the apex?
Yes. Yes.
Um, where I'm one of these people that I don't like an apex very far high or very far up. But in school, this was how, and I remember you saying to me, go with what they're teaching you in school. Once you're qualified, you can do it as you know. Um, and that was but I can honestly say I learned more from you and Becky and Kim uh, than I did in school.
Yeah.
100%.
It's the same way here. And you know what? Everybody I've interviewed, it seems to be the same way. Even if they've gone to a really good school that got to send them to a trade show, they got to, advance. Once they got into the salon environment, they realized that they still never knew how to do a fill. They only knew how to do full sets. They didn't know how to do removals. Because the people in school would get the full set, they wouldn't last as long. The retention wasn't there. And so therefore, when they came back in, they already had their nails off and you were doing a full set all over again. And so the
Mm-hmm.
reality, and that's just one section of
Yeah,
the industry. And so they didn't give you a true product knowledge and the chemistry of understanding what products are you using and a variety of products, quality products even, because the
yeah,
schools try to save
yeah,
money and teach you with products that are just the cheapest ones. And so it takes us pulling together and helping mentor each other. Which Carmel, so how long have you been licensed now?
18 months.
I know, I love it.
I
And
know, I
now,
know.
18 months, how many people are on here saying, because of Carmel, I learned this, because of Carmel, this? You
Really? I
took
can't see the
the
comments.
Oh, you can't? Oh my God. You
I
took
don't,
the reins and you went to the next level rather quickly. And so
if I
I'm watching you
is there
grow.
any way I can see the comments, Amy? No.
You, hmm. Usually you can see them right there on your screen. So for some
I'm
reason,
afraid to touch that screen in case I knock you off.
um, do you have by chance your computer or something else next to you? If not,
I
I'll
have
just,
the iPad here next to me.
okay, so make sure to turn the volume down because it will blast
Yeah, I
everybody.
have it on mute. Oh, I
Yep,
see you.
I see you.
Ah,
And now you should be able
hopefully.
to.
Oh, Dave, Haley. Oh, Jennifer. Oh my God.
Okay. Do you see?
I that
I saw that
that
Carmel has taught me loads, and she put loads way out there. So I love in 18 months that you were able to take something from your schooling, find the right mentors to help build that confidence in you and those skills. You got on board, get to be an ambassador with Nailchemy, and you're part of their.
that's yeah.
Yes.
That's the
And so,
dream, you know.
yes. And
Yeah,
so
that was like,
when did you decide that? So what? Okay, so I'm going to share my story a little bit. You guys know that one time I was watching a live, Nailchemy, Dave and Haley were live, and I was blown away with their color swatching of what they were doing, a little bit of art thing. And it's the same thing that I was doing online, showing a little bit of art techniques. And I loved it. And so I was stuck on it, and I kept commenting. And afterwards they private messaged me and said, "Hey, you know what? We were kind of thinking about becoming international. Can we ship you like something and see how long it takes to get there and all of that?" And I was like, "Well, yeah."
yeah.
Anyway, they shipped me a lot. Let's just say that.
I remember you opening that.
I went live. I had no clue what they were sending me. All I know is it made it here in 4 days over Easter. I remember it was a holiday, and it was still here
Yeah,
within 4 days. And it came directly to my door, not, that I had to go somewhere and pick it up. And it was filled with goodies, and I had no clue it was in the box. So it was like Christmas.
I
And
remember that.
they have products that I've never seen in any other company, especially like the goddesses, the way that they're dragon eyes, their cat eyes and stuff. And of course, I too became a nail chemist. And
Nail
so
chemist,
hearing
yeah.
that, Carmel sees alive. And so
Yep.
tell your part of the story about how you got
So yeah,
involved.
so I saw you open that box
Yeah.
and saw you using the products. And I, like you said, I from college bought into the company that they were teaching us in college. I hated it. I It was streaky. It was a nightmare. But because that's what we used in college, I presumed, oh, the college are going to tell me a good brand, are going to be using a good brand. But then I saw you using Nailchemy, and I was going, oh my God. So I got off your live, went onto their website, and bought them.
Oh my gosh.
Um, yeah, straight away. I actually looked today because
Oh, your letter. Yes. Yes, yes.
yes, and it says the 3rd of June 2018.
Oh,
So
so
yeah,
over.
and as Dave would probably tell you then, that was the first of many orders. Uh, yeah, and they used to laugh at me because I used to say my husband buys me lots of Nailchemy stuff, but he doesn't know he buys it because I had access to his card. So yeah, so he kept buying me all this Nailchemy stuff, um, and I fell in love with the products. I fell in love with the company. They're like, to me, they are totally 100% customer orientated. They not like any other company I know. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an ambassador, but I do know I dealt with other companies, and you'd ask something, you'd be told go look on the website. You might not talk to anybody. With Nailchemy, you will speak to somebody. If you want to speak to somebody, you will. And I think they just, from start to finish, are just an amazing company. And I just wanted to be a part of it, um, even a small part. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be an ambassador, ever. Because, number one, I was going to say I didn't. I probably still don't think I'm good enough to be an ambassador. Um, but I every live that I ever had, I have never missed an Nailchemy live. Um, and my aim is to keep that record. Even Dave and Haley laugh at me. Like, no matter what, I have to see all the lives. So I think Dave phoned me then one day and said, you know, that they were looking for moderators really, as opposed to ambassadors at the time, and to kind of look after the Facebook page kind of thing.
Mhm.
And that is right up my alley, because you know me, I'm a real people's person. I was brought up in a bar, so used to dealing with people all my life. So I love that. I love helping everyone out, you know, on the page. My husband told Dave recently that he's going looking for a divorce because I spend more time with Neil than I do with him. And as you know now, I've had one divorce, Amy. I'm not really planning on having another one.
No, no, no. But you know what? When we get passionate about what we're doing and we get the excitement behind it, we can't help but want to spend time doing it and
Yeah.
staying late or whatnot. Now, speaking of your husband, and thank goodness you have a nursing background, your husband needs additional care and you have the time to be able to spend with him and still do your passion. And so not to, kind of put that out there, but we always send prayers for you and for your husband and his well-being and all of that. And so it is hard to balance when we are so passionate about something because Facebook is international. It's 24 hours, it's
Yeah.
active. We can get lost on there. I know as well.
Yeah, I
Doing
do. Yeah.
so much on there, and which is, fabulous, but we have to have that balance with our family and know that that comes first. And so how do you balance, taking care of your husband and doing the lives and being admin and what content to come up with? Because then you practice first before you go live because you always have your nail tip saying, well, last time I did it, I did this. So, I mean, you're spending a lot of time with that. How do you balance it?
That really came about. Now, my husband probably will still tell you that I spend more time with Nailchemy than I do with him, but um, I have to say, and not in a bad way, um, my husband has serious health issues. Nailchemy to me is kind of a lifeline to get away from that as well, in that it's my happy space, it's my me time.
Yeah.
Um, and what happened was, as well as I said to you, I have psoriasis, but then I developed psoriatic arthritis. Um, and foolishly, which is another thing I have a kind of a thing about as well, I never wore gloves. Um, because number one, in school it was never really talked about, and I suppose I didn't think about it enough. Because now I would say if anyone has any kind of an autoimmune disease or anything like that, I would say, oh my God, don't do anything without wearing gloves. Because what happened to me was I developed really, really, really bad reactions, to the point where I all of my fingers were bleeding, open sores on all of them. Now this is good. This is the best they've been in about 6 months, purely because I haven't seen a client in 6 months. So I had to go to a dermatologist, went through agonizing 2 months of weekly dressings being changed and um, different types of everything going on to try and heal them. She wrote a letter saying I couldn't work and then my insurance didn't cover me. So I had to I didn't want to give up my nail stuff because I love it so much. Um, and I had only just built up, because I was only after starting, I had only just built up clients. So I knew within a couple of months they were all going to be gone anyway. So then I was lucky I was an ambassador by then, because I think if I wasn't, I probably would have absolutely been 100% devastated. I've told you before, I suffered very, very badly with depression um, after I had my children. Very bad, was suicidal, and I honestly think if I hadn't had Nailchemy, I would definitely have gone down that road again, because Nailchemy gave me the possibility of still following my dream, even though I didn't have clients in the chair. So yeah, I do spend time practicing, but to me, it's almost like I'm doing clients. So I spend a couple of hours a day where I come in and I play around with all my Nailchemy stuff. And as I call it, hey, I always say to Haley, I go to my happy room, and I play. Um, and then, yeah, then I have health issues, as I said. So is my husband. So then that's taken care of. And then again, then at night time, I'll go and I'll watch the lives, whoever's on a live. I'm always on the page. The girls will tell you. Dave laughs. I tell him if I'm not active on the page, I'm probably dead. So if it looks like I'm not answering any questions within an hour, I'm probably dead. Yeah.
We don't
So
want that. And you know,
no, and I
when it,
absolutely no. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh, well, when it comes to, well, you guys know that I have medical issues as well that took us
Yeah.
massively me away from the table this year. And it's an ongoing thing, and we have to just work with it. And it was interesting. I experienced what I would consider a slight depression for the first time in my life this year because I was pulled away from something that I love so very much and continuously told, you need to take better care of yourself. And I'm like, you don't understand. I'm not doing anything. This is an autoimmune problem that I have, an autonomic. Nothing that I do makes this better.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yes.
that I really do makes this worse, except for truly exhausting myself. But doing little things every day is not making a difference in that. I need this. I
Yeah.
need this communication. And thank you for sharing your story. It's so hard to see when you think you'd want to take your life. It's hard to
Yeah.
see somebody of your spirit and somebody who has made such a big difference in my heart ever have that part in your head and in your life. And so I'm so glad that you rose above that. And despite all the issues that you've had to go through, that you did find the mentorship and you found the family and the Nailchemy family on top of that to be able to help build you up because we can all relate with each other and we always think we're alone, especially when you're in a
Yes.
salon environment that maybe you're the only tech. We always think that nobody else is going to understand. But isn't it amazing when you finally open up and you use the power of your voice, how many people go, oh my gosh, Amy, I had no idea, and then we start private messaging each other and you build this relationship and you realize there's all of us have something that we're dealing with
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and are fully best. But boy, when we team up together, isn't that powerful? It's
Oh,
so, it makes
absolutely.
and so anyways,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that side of you because I mean I knew that, but it makes us vulnerable to share that. And when we're
Very.
vulnerable, we're
Yeah.
raw, we're real. And for me, emotions come out and get all ugly, sappy.
Me
But
too. Me
but I
too.
can tell you, we have to do that. We have to share every part of us, no holds back.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And my biggest fear at the time, and I'm sure Dave and Haley will laugh now because I've said it, but through all that, all of a sudden, it wasn't that I was worrying I had no clients. I was worried, oh my God, will I not be able to be an ambassador if I'm not doing clients? That my love for Nailchemy was that big and that strong that that was my biggest worry because I didn't want that part of my life to go because it's such an important part of it. And I honestly, genuinely think that if that had gone, yeah, then I think my heart and soul would have gone with it, that I wouldn't have had, anything to keep me going.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I a thousand
Yeah.
times get it. Nailchemy, it's interesting when things come into your life when you need them the most. And I have my faith, so I know it's a godly thing. I also believe in I have angels all the way around me all the time. I've never seen them. I don't know, who they are, what they are, but
Yeah.
I just know at these specific times I get this little feeling of like it's gonna be okay. Do this route. So years ago, I know this sounds very odd, but it's a true story. When I very first got licensed, it was in 1991, and there was no nail only salons. And um, anyways, I ended up working for this salon that was really one of the only ones that had a nail tech table that I could utilize full time, that I could do nail enhancements, manicures, and pedicures. Because it was very hard to find a salon that offered that. Because if not, you were a hairdresser that offered
Oh, yeah.
manicures and pedicures, and you had to share the table with the hairdresser. And
Oh,
so
okay.
I went to the salon only because it was going to able it was going to allow me to be able to do all my services. There was one other part-time tech in there that worked, I mean, very part-time. She worked, I think, Monday afternoons or something like that. And so really I had all of these supplies to myself, not the best quality supplies because it wasn't what we have today and stuff, but um, the owner of that salon was a psychic. And she was opened my eyes to a whole new world because I didn't really believe in that. I didn't believe in reading the stars, and she did this
Yeah.
astrology or whatever. And I'm not joking when I say one day she wrote down, and Dave and Haley know the story. She went through and told me that my word is alchemy, that somewhere in my life, this was going to be
God.
my game changer, and that this alchemy, whether it needed to be my business name, and it was going to be something so significant in my life. And so, of course, every now and then I would look up the definition of it. It always stays the same. Nothing ever came to me with alchemy. I never understood where's this alchemy? Like, I'm in my
Oh,
40s
wow.
now. Where's the alchemy? And anyways, when I saw the name Nailchemy, uh, it was one of those like, is this what? Like, for sure. You know, here I am, mid 40s, and this is finally after 20
All the, yeah.
almost 30 years of my career, finally this alchemy is coming to me. And it was, I don't know, I think I had been with an alchemy for about a year before I finally shared that story and said, I
Wow.
know where this is going to go, but I'm all in. What you have
Yeah.
offered and what you guys have proven to me, your customer service, your
Yeah.
team, your sincerity, and following you more on social media to know that you're not just like all the rest.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of this. And so, what do you guys think about, like in a US ambassador or something like that? And they're like, you would? And I'm like, you have me?
Yeah.
Like, and so I told them the story about alchemy, and I don't know how they really took it. They probably thought I was a little crazy, but I'm serious when this is something that I've had written on a piece of
Yeah.
paper from the salon owner from all those years ago that said it was going to be my life changer. They came to me at a point in my life where I was getting away from the table and I was doing more online, and it allowed me to excel online. I had more products that were fun
Yeah.
and easy and made sense and didn't smell bad. And anyways,
Yeah.
it allowed me to grow. And so the alchemy part of it. So anyways, I know that's a crazy story coming from a psychic that I had a boss as a psychic.
No, I think it's a beautiful story.
Yeah. And so I love how the connections come to us at a time when we need them. And obviously, it was the same thing with you. You needed it so bad.
Absolutely. And the same with you. Because I can remember that night. I was so upset. I was so frustrated, and then I don't even remember what I typed in, but all of a sudden you came up on a live, um, and it was like, oh my God! And then that was it. Like that was how. And I always tell you this. You will be my forever friend. We've
Absolutely.
never met in person, but yet I feel like I've known you all my life. And it's the same with Dave and Haley. I feel it's just this connection. It sounds crazy, but again, I feel like they've been part of my life forever, even though it's only, a year and a bit. I can't imagine my life without them,
I,
and the Nailchemy team.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I couldn't imagine my life without them.
Yeah. So being an ambassador and an admin, another thing that you chose to do is you went for it and you're like, I'm going to do a beginner's corner
Yeah,
because I feel like a lot of the techs, including myself, are doing a little bit more advanced art and we kind of
yeah.
forget you need to know how to use a dotting tool. You need to know how to use a detail brush and how to clean them and just the basics. And so let's talk about your first live.
Oh my first life. I actually way back, like that was what got me started when I was in school, because you go out then, right, and you go online and you see all, like you, these amazing techs doing amazing stuff, and my thinking was, there is no way I'm posting anything into that group, because it's not good enough. And that was why, um okay, my very first live, it was a disaster, an absolute out and out disaster, because number one, the phone, I don't know where I had my phone now that I think about it, but definitely wasn't on what I was supposed to be doing. It was, and God bless poor Haley and Dave. They were so supportive of me and said, no, 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 don't worry. And I think I bought about 5 different stands from Amazon to eventually find one. But my thing was that, yes, I was a beginner, and I would feel like the rest of the team are very, very talented techs. Like I would be nowhere near their level. But I had this thing in my head that we need a space where beginners can feel safe to say, it was like someone even asked the question the other day, somebody put up about something about rebalancing, and somebody said, what's rebalancing? Just even different terms,
Yes.
that we wouldn't know, and that you don't feel like an idiot asking it in a beginners group, whereas you might feel a bit, I can't ask that in, a
Yeah.
more advanced group.
Right.
And I said to Dave I actually think it was on a live, I said, maybe I should start a beginner's corner. And Dave said, absolutely, go for it. Um, and literally, my life changed from that day forward. My life, now I still shake. It's not called the Paint Shake and Swipe Club for nothing. I still shake. And I think I must own shares in the Swipe company, because I mean I'm painting, I've shook so bad they have to wipe it all off. Um, but because then I felt I was gearing myself towards beginners, then I was more comfortable.
Yeah.
And that my aim really is that I want beginners to feel, I can post my picture, I can post my nails there. They may not be, 100%, but I can. Or I could ask her this, and I don't think she'd think any different of me just by asking that. And that's how it came about.
It's
Um,
so
and it's a real, real passion of mine. Beginners, I think beginners are a group that get lost, if I'm honest, because there's nowhere really. You're either advanced or you're, intermediate. It's very, very hard in the beginning, to find some place that you feel safe in doing stuff, or as I said, even asking questions.
Yeah, but Carmel, I mentioned on a couple weeks ago on one of your lives, there was a technique that you were using, and I'm like, and you say that you're a beginner, but yeah, I've been doing this for 27 years, and you just taught me something I never knew. So you're not helping just beginners. You're helping us all, and inspirationally wise as well. I agree with Jennifer 1,000% that your vulnerability is what makes you relatable. And we just talked about that
Oh,
makes you raw, it makes you real, and it makes you, people can understand. And until we can open up and use our voice to be that power, other people we don't know that we can connect with them. We think that they're, oh, like Scarlet Center, like, oh, she's won all these awards. Oh, she's not gonna listen to me or whatever. You know what? You can private message her and she will message you right back. And people
absolutely.
thing about me, they say the same thing about you, like, oh, she's so busy, I don't want to bother her.
Oh, God,
With
I hope they would never say that about me now. I
exactly,
always say,
we don't feel that way. We want to
yeah,
help out. I
yeah,
love
yeah. I love when somebody messages me, or asks me for help, or if somebody puts up a question about a color, I'm in there saying, do you want me to video call you and show you it? Or um,
yeah,
I'm just jumping to help them, because that's what I want to do. Because that's what I would have loved, um, and that's what I got from you, when I was starting out. That's I felt, no, I wouldn't maybe have felt comfortable on a pop-up live to ask you the question, but I pop you a message afterwards and say, well, Amy, I find this difficult, and you would always answer me, always, and I'd hope that that's what I would be, that people would say, yeah, no, I could ask her, and she wouldn't think I'm stupid by asking that question. Yeah,
not.
I love, yeah.
And I remind people all the time, I've been in the industry for a long time, and so I have lots of experiences, but it doesn't mean that I'm sharing, because I call it sharing my nerdy nail knowledge, but it doesn't
Yeah,
mean that I know everything. But what I do know from doing tech talks and doing, asking so many questions, I know the resources to connect other people to the source. Call the company themselves to get the information that you need. That not all of us that are sharing our knowledge has all the answers for all these different companies. If you're having a problem with one product line, call that company to get the answers.
Yeah.
And if I know the answer, fine. If not, I know how to refer them to somebody else. And so I think that's the big difference, is helping them go to the next level. It's kind of like this happened the other day. So, I haven't established a hairdresser here yet. And so I called a hair salon that was referred to me, and I called them and they're like, you know what, Amy, we would love to have you as a client. And we're so sorry we can't get you in. Like, I would do anything to have you a part of our salon, but we are just booked out, for all these months. And I'm sorry, at this time we can't, but I will call you as soon as possible. Until then, this girl is a very great colorist, and I would really like for you to give her a call. Referred me to another salon, gave me the phone number, exactly the same way that I've always treated my salon. If somebody called and we couldn't get them in, I would refer them somewhere else. I would get them to the proper people that they need. And of course, I called the other salon and said, this salon referred me to you. And they're like, oh my gosh, like they referred. And so it was a great connection. I have a hair appointment next week. And so, but that's what it takes, is being able to not look at it as competition, but look at
Yes.
it as
Yeah.
helping each other, and to be able to, we could all have the same recipe, but all of ours is going to taste slightly different. We can
Absolutely. And I
all
think it's important that
yeah,
everyone remembers we all started at the bottom.
yeah,
That it's important to remember that, that like you or Scarlett or all these award winning people, they all started where I am, so it's important to remember that. And as you say, not to see it as, I can't send her to the other tech down the road. I don't want to be, you know, she's my competition. There's plenty for everyone.
yeah,
And we need to be able to, to help one another out, not be, trying to pull
yeah,
from each other.
yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
recently, Light Elegance has, approached me in this last year, and one of the things that I was worried about is when you sign on with a company, you have to be exclusively them. And so for all these years, I've done that. As a grandmaster tech, I've been all of this. And I realize sometimes it can hold you back because it doesn't allow you to grow, because you need to know kind of per se what the competition is, or what other
Hmm.
companies are doing, what's next, what's, follow the fashion and, everything that's coming out. And one thing with Nailchemy is it allows us to be independent like that. It allows us to continue to grow and play around. And they never say, that's not how we showed you how to use it. They're like, oh my gosh, you figured out how to mix this with that and you created
This,
that color.
yeah.
They allow you to not be the chemist per se, but they allow
Yeah.
you the freedom to play and
Yeah.
not hold you back. And so it's one of the things, well, with Light Elegance and with Nailchemy on my end, that it has allowed me to continue to grow because of that. And so I love
Yeah.
the company and their vision with that. Um,
They're just an amazing company like that. I mean, they just, when I had the problems with my hands and everything, they were so good. They kept saying, just keep doing your lives and keep going. And, if you can't do them, there's no problem. But they gave me a lifeline.
yeah,
That, and absolutely. And I have to say that they empower me every day. They're always coming up with maybe if I had an idea, I do want the beginner's corner to grow. Um, and like yeah, absolutely. What would you like to do?
yeah,
It's just yes, it's such an amazing, amazing company. And I'm not just saying it because I'm an ambassador, but I just think everything about the company is just unbelievable. Like down to the letters, they're so personal. I have mine framed since I think the day I got it. Just everything about it is just so personable and so completely customer orientated. And as I said, I don't think you get that anywhere else. I really don't. It's a very, very hard thing to find.
Yeah. So I know that you're just getting started with the beginner's corner, perfecting that, perfecting your lives, and obviously going to continue on with that. Um,
Continue shaking, yeah.
what's your, what else is on your agenda? What's another goal for?
The other goal, I would love to teach art. That would
Yes.
be, yeah, I would love to go down that route.
I'm thinking you messaged me a while back and said that you signed up to become an instructor.
I think I may have.
Is
You
that
better
right?
all start praying for me now that I haven't got my results yet, Amy.
I love it. And so this has opened up many doors and the confidence that you've been able to build through this. And so I know that you did not have this confidence prior. And so
Oh
being able
no.
to build the confidence through a product line, through the techniques, through the mentorship and stuff like that has thrown you into where you have all these new opportunities coming your way.
Yeah.
And we know you're going to be a great instructor. And so do you kind of see yourself yes. Do you kind of see yourself maybe having an academy or being able to travel around and instructing?
I think at the minute anyway, because of my hubby's health and that, I think it'll be mostly online for now. But I would never rule out traveling. Absolutely not. But it's just at the minute, I wouldn't see it as an option. I really do think it'll be mostly online for now anyway. That is providing a pass.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously making the time with your family and all of that as well. And so
Hmm.
sometimes, like even with me, I've just started really low key. I actually
Yeah.
said the other day, if I would not be able to offer the online workshops that I do at the price that I do if I was trying to compete with all the other big educators that are out there that
Yeah.
have these whole huge setups and all of these lights and they edit all of their
Yeah.
videos. I don't edit anything. It goes onto the YouTube just as raw and real as it was when it was live. And
And that's what makes them so beautiful.
yeah. Well, and so every now and then I'll get a comment. Like I got a comment yesterday that said, Amy, it would make it a lot easier if you used more hashtags. Now, I'm one that just posts. So I don't use a lot of hashtags and I understand them. But I thought, what would make it easier? Because so I sent her the link to the YouTube channel while all the tech talks are, and I thought, well, can't you just find them there scrolling? And she's like,
Yeah.
but if you use the hashtags a little bit more, it would make me easier to find specific ones. And I thought, well, then fine, I understand what you're saying, and I will use more hashtags and be into that. But I thought, do you know how much time that we've already invested in everything that we're
Yeah.
doing? And now you're telling me I'm not doing enough. And that's kind of the
Yeah.
mindset where I thought, now I have to step this up a little bit more, a little bit more. And I understand because it can be more successful. But I also know that that's the reason why I don't edit. That's the reason why I don't have these big camera setups and do all of that, is because I want to keep it real and I want to keep
Mm.
it low cost and I want to keep
Yeah.
it relatable. That when you
That would
start
be my vision as well. Yeah.
yeah, it's like when
Yeah.
people edit all their pictures and they advertise it as these are the nails that you can do, and the client comes in and they never receive what's in the picture because it's been so edited. A video
Edited.
can
Yeah.
be the same way. And so the more I thought about it, I thought, yeah, I do need to be better with the hashtags, but at some point in time, you also have to realize you cannot please everybody. At some point
No,
in time,
and I mean,
keep doing what I'm doing, that it makes me happy.
absolutely, because I mean, well, for me, I know if I wanted to watch one of yours, I would be quite willing to scroll through there and find it no problem. It isn't a big issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
just
a
some
lot.
they feel I don't know. I liked the suggestion and I thanked her for that and stuff. But
Mm.
sometimes people, you know, I don't know, just some of the comments that they make. And I've been fortunate not to have those comments aimed at myself, but I've been on videos where I've seen the comments or, things that have been said. And I thought, you give it a try. You
Yeah,
go
exactly.
and you do this and you prove to me
Yeah,
that you have the time to go live, respond to everybody's comments and to do everything that like what you're doing, Carmel,
yeah,
and you see them quickly kind of change. And
yeah. I mean,
I'm willing to even help you do it. I'm willing to help you do this so that you can see the time and the effort that goes into that. And you're so good about commenting on every single comment on your lives and responding to them even on replay. And, I'm learning from you. And so I know that's beginning corner, but I'm learning from you a lot.
oh,
Oh my goodness. So I know that there's lots of comments on here today, a lot
Oh
more
my
than
goodness,
normal.
yeah.
I can definitely say that. And so if we've missed any questions, I promise we'll go back through a replay and kind of answer anything that you have. Janet,
Absolutely.
yeah. Janet says, Amy, you're so real, please don't change. And Carmel, I'm going to say that same thing for you. You stay who you are and you keep this path inside of you because you have it. You have that it factor, and I love it.
No, I'm afraid, yeah, you're stuck with me, Amy. This is me. This is me. There's no dressing up or down, or this is me. And yeah, yeah, hopefully I will always be just me. I wouldn't want to change.
Yeah.
I'd love to look about 20 years younger or something, yeah, maybe, but other than that, no.
Well, it's a proven fact when you are passionate about what you're doing and you love what you're doing, it allows you to shine and it does bring out that fountain of youth. And so
Yeah, no, yeah,
I know
I have to say
both
that
of
as I said to you, it, it's, it's like a dream. It's just, I have a dream. It's something, as I said, I wouldn't, if you asked me a year ago, where do you think you'll be in a year's time, Carmel? I most definitely would not say sitting on a Tech Talk Live with Amy Masters.
I love it. So let's just for fun, because this is recorded, where do you see
Hmm.
yourself a year from now? And then we'll do another tech talk and we're gonna see how it compares.
Okay, in a year, yes. Oh, yeah. So in a year, yeah, definitely. I definitely want to see the beginner corner bigger and better, as in, even specific uh, ways to get to me in a beginner's corner. And I definitely I would love to have probably under my belt a good few online classes in a year's time. Hopefully, I will have taught a good few classes by then. And yeah, hopefully someone will say, "Oh yeah, I'd love to do a class by Carmel O'Rourke."
Yes.
Like I say about Amy Masters classes.
Well, you're already there. You're doing exactly how I started, and that was just sharing the knowledge out there. And then when I got a little bit more advanced and a lot more questions and people wanted more detail, then they would join a workshop. But I still do free
Yeah,
tutorials. And
yeah,
so, yeah,
absolutely. And
yeah,
I love them.
yeah. I love doing them. You know what I really like is the interaction. When
Yes,
I
yeah,
workshop,
I love it.
videos are pre-done and then I go live in there with Q&A. When I get to do a pop-up live, however, it's the interaction and so I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love, and that's the thing about all the nail chemists. They're all so supportive, and they're so. I've said to them so many times in my lives, without ye, I wouldn't be here. Or I wouldn't be able to do it. They just
Yeah.
keep me going because when I mess up, they all go, "Don't worry about it, Carmen. It's fine. Just keep going."
So is there any, so I know what my goal is to make it over to Nailchemy headquarters and
Oh my, that's yes,
whether I'm teaching a class or be a part of a class. And so I know it would be so much fun to be able to have that as a landing area for both of us to meet and
yes.
to be able to
Oh
be a
my
part
God,
of.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely that would be fantastic. Yes. I keep saying to Dave and Haley, yeah, my dream is I need to go to HQ. Um, so yeah, it's just so difficult at the minute because of my hubby. Um, but yeah, I'm hanging on to that dream. I will get there, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can manage that. You will get there as well, and we'll all meet. That would
Oh,
be absolutely fantastic. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Wonderful. Oh, I just love you so much. And so I have to go back to crunchies.
The
So
crunchy.
I'm not sure. I think you just wanted to send me a gift bag and you sent me a variety of stuff. And you've sent me coffee from Ireland. And you guys know I've opened some of these live or I'm not joking when I have crunchies with my coffee in the morning. You're not supposed to have a candy bar in the morning. And I'm a pretty health conscious person. But crunchies and coffee is like my perfect mix. Anyways, these are crunchies. People always say when I do a live with you or we're on and we talk about crunchies, are like, what's crunchies? And then you've sent
Yeah.
other people packages of
Yes.
Crunchies. You could have this whole side business where you could get paid from Cadbury to be able to promote Crunchies early. So there's a whole marketing side out there, Carmel, that we might need to team up with and to be able to
Yeah.
offer distributorship for Crunchies through the
Yeah.
Nailchemy.
Well, I messed up your last package very badly, but anyway,
Uh,
yeah. So yeah, the next one will be the normal size.
yeah, oh my God. Um, so of course my whole family is stuck on Crunchies, Curly Whirlies, and the coffees and stuff like that. So I just can't thank you enough for opening our eyes. And it's interesting, and this goes with products as well. It's interesting that a product, we have Cadbury here as well, and then you guys have Cadbury. This is not available here. And just like some product lines, and I noticed the one really expensive one that a lot of product lines can't get into is some of the chromes and stuff like that because they're so
So
expensive, or
expensive.
there's a limited amount of what they can get. And so it's available in some areas and not in others. So, for instance, I was going to go back to the Minda pump.
Yes.
Yeah. So because it wasn't it, I think I had mailed one to you, was it? Was
Yes,
it?
because
Oh,
I could get the plastic one, or I could get the glass one, the ordinary one,
yeah.
but I couldn't get the one for the monomer
Yeah.
that had the little mushroom top.
Yeah.
So they could mail this one to me, no problem, but they couldn't mail me the other one,
Yeah.
the monomer one. And I tried everything. I got on to Germany where they manufacture them. And they still, they said, no, we don't ship to Ireland.
Yeah. But through the networking of what we have online,
Yeah.
I can get Crunchy, so you got a Menda pump, and we can work with each other to help each other get these products. And so even though sometimes they say they can ship internationally or these big companies, that's not always that case. And so
No.
I love how we can network together to be able to be successful in that, and we're not breaking any laws and stuff like that.
No. Actually, I think that is how the Crunchies started because I wanted to say thank you to you for sending me the pump. So I said, I'll send you some candy. I think that was how we started with the Crunchies. So I sent you a variety pack and
Mm.
you said, oh yeah, they're all lovely, but oh, those Crunchies.
They they're
So I
fabulous.
think that's how it started. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
And
I hope that more of you are inspired that if there's something that you really want and you can't get in your area, whether, it either be Nailchemy or a
yeah,
certain type of tool or something like that, team up with the distributor or team up with somebody that does have access to it and create that friendship. I know Shayna Hill and I did a cookie exchange. And we did homemade treats at the holidays and did an exchange that way. Now she lives a lot closer, so it only had to be in the mail for a day or so. But
yeah, yeah.
um, but it's fun. And
It
oh
is
my,
so much fun.
like
Um,
she from Australia made me this little figurine out of our nail products and stuff like that, and mailed it to me, and had sent me some of these candies that I had never had before. And I wish I was a better giver. I want to be able to do that, but I
oh
sent
my
Christy Meekin,
goodness.
thank you, not too long ago, and this Vicky, I sent her a box, but shipping costs can be quite spendy, and we know
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
just know that you're doing it out of your heart. This isn't because the shipping, I'm going to warn you, is
It, it,
expensive.
yeah, but it's such a lovely way. And like I think it was two or three people I sent the Crunchies to, but they sent me, some beautiful stuff as well. And it's such a lovely, lovely thing to do, though,
Yeah.
and it does create lovely friendships. It really does. And as I always say to you, I'll supply you with Crunchies till my dying day, Amy Masters, no problem.
I know. I keep saying, you don't have to do this. And she's like, too late. They're already mailed.
Yeah, they're gone. Yeah, yeah. Even though you need to remind me because I can't figure out how quickly you're eating them.
Well, let me tell you, they go pretty fast. I have to hide a package or so in my studio so my family can't find them. And then every now and then I'll bring one out and they're like, where'd you get that? And I'm like, I do. I hide them. It's a true story. Uh, so I know that you and I both do the same thing with Boutique. We always wonder, about the name and all of that and make sure we're saying it boutique or boutique.
That's Max. Max is her first name.
Yes. And so
Yeah.
she said that she saw Babe Ruth in the shops today and she just had to buy it. And I can tell you, in what I usually get if I am going to our stores, and obviously we don't have crunchies, I usually either get a Babe Ruth, an almond Snicker bar, or I love those hunks. It's called a big hunk, and it's like a marshmallow with nuts in it. Those are my three top ones. So like, and my family knows that if I want something, they tend to go get a Babe Ruth. So Max, I can tell you, I hope you enjoyed every bit of that because it's so good. Have you ever had those?
Yeah. No, no. But what was the ones that you sent me that I really liked? I've forgotten the name now.
Um,
Um,
well, with Vicky and them, they realized that they don't have cinnamon candy. And
no.
so I had sent hot tamales. And so I don't remember what everything was sent in your box. Was it the
You know, there was
Skittles?
one of them, and you said it was your favorite. Oh, Skittles was one. Was there like a
There's,
jelly bean? Uh,
yeah, yeah.
yes,
The
they were beautiful.
Jelly
And the
Belly.
M&Ms, the crunchy M&Ms. Yeah,
That's
they
my
were
husband.
beautiful.
My husband loves it. Isn't it crazy though that I mean, some of these companies are international companies, but they only make specific things in certain areas. And our
Yeah,
nail industry is the same way. And so it
yeah.
really does take us sharing that stuff back and forth.
Oh
I'm
my
getting,
God, yeah.
I might have to open up this whole package and just eat while we're live.
Oh, toffee
Um,
crisp. Have you ever tried toffee crisp? I see boutique said toffee crisp.
oh, I've never heard of
You,
that, but I love,
oh, you might like that. I'll send you them the next time. I'll
oh
send
my.
you some of them.
So
Yeah.
Angie says, I'm so glad that I caught this live. I've been busy and I haven't seen one for a while. And Carmel, you are awesome. This has made
Oh,
me do a lot of thinking about the things that I want to do and given me some great inspiration. Love you both. Thank you. And you know what? That's what these tech talks are about. And sometimes people are like, oh, I wish that you would bring somebody on that was a newbie. And I thought, oh my gosh, probably half of the people that I interview have been new in the industry because I like the to see what is going on in schools now. What are you learning now compared to what we did, and to help build that up. And so I love the variety of people that we can bring on here, even if what we end up.
I always get a bit teary-eyed when somebody says you've given me inspiration, or as I said to you, because in my wildest dreams, I never, ever, ever thought I would be inspiring anybody. And it's just, it's unbelievable. It really is.
You're
It makes me a bit teary.
inspiring just anybody. Carmel, you are inspiring so many. So
Oh,
and not even just with your personal stuff that you do, but your beginner's corner is just a small portion of how much inspiration that you give. And thank you
oh.
for that. I love that I mean, even with these comments, what people are saying, you've inspired me yet again, Carmel. Things are tough, but there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Love you, Carmel. And that's from Jode.
Oh,
Says,
that's my Nailchemy sis.
Pauline says, Carmel, every time that I message you, morning and night, you've always had the love. Oh, you're always there. Love you, hon. And
Oh,
telling you, you are touching people's souls. You are a lifetime person. And like I said before, you just have this it factor about you. And we don't always get to see your face. We're always seeing your pink, cute gloves. But
my
I can,
orange gloves. Yeah. Oh Lord, yes.
yeah, the orange ones. Yeah. Anyways, love it so much. Love, love, love all of this. And so,
Oh, and it. Go ahead.
um,
Sorry, Amy.
anyways, I just wanted to, we're going to have to come to a closing here because I can talk to you forever and ever, but I am so glad that we have met. And I am so thankful that you're a part of my life. Every day you are in my prayers for you and your husband and for your career. And I want to see you just follow these dreams and continue to build up that confidence because what you have, Carmel, is special. And what you have
Oh,
is
thank you.
unique. And sometimes we don't understand that niche of where we can fit in, but naturally we find it and it comes to us when it's the right path. And with Nailchemy, it's opened up those doors to be that path.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And like I said, I'm just finding you at the right minute was just so important in my life. And then you made me find Nailchemy. And I would be eternally grateful to you and Dave and Haley for making my dream possible. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And the three of you have 100% have given me my dream and given me a reason to keep going.
Yeah.
Without you three, I can safely say I probably wouldn't be here, Amy. And I'm not saying that in a dramatic, that is from the bottom of my heart. I mean that. I
Yeah.
really, really do.
Thank you for opening up and sharing that. Of course, it makes us emotional, but that's the raw vulnerability of all of that. And we have to stick together. We just do. And we are the ones that get to help pave the path for others that feel the same struggle. And even for the ones that don't,
Yeah, and I'd like to think that, someday I would allow somebody to follow their dream, even if it's just, as you say, to paint that nail on the canvas or whatever. They can say, yeah, no, Carmel inspired me to do that, and so I went for it and did it. That's all I ever want. Help. I just want to help, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll read one last comment here before we go from Angie. It says, I've done nails for 25 years and I still learn so much from so many people. That takes me out of my comfort zone. I have tried so many different things and come up with new things that are so fun. I love what I do, in all caps and big hearts. And that is what makes the difference. When we love what we do and we have that true passion in us, you can't help but shine. And so thank you, Carmel, and thank you, Angie, and everybody that shared your stories with us. Thank you for taking this moment to shine and share, because that's what we need. It's a beautiful industry.
And thank you so much. Yeah. And as I said, Dave and Haley, and the Nailchemy team, it's the most beautiful family to be in. The Nailchemy family are just unbelievable. And so grateful to have you all. I really mean that.
I love all the stuff that's coming through. So before I get emotional, Carmel, thank you from the bottom top, my entire heart, for everything that you've done for me, and then for others as well. Thank you for your time and sharing your story with us today as well. Tell your honey I said hello, and can't wait to see you on Beginner's Corner again. So in the comments, Dave, Haley, I know that you guys are on here, or Joe, somebody from Nailchemy, let's post the links for the website, which is nailchemy.co.uk. Okay. And then for the Facebook group, and then you guys can watch not only the Beginner's Corner, but all of the other ambassadors that do all of these lives, and kind of help inspire each other through there. So thank you so much, Carmel, for your time, and thank you, Nailchemy, for being a wonderful company that has inspired so many of us personally and professionally. And I hope that your whole rest of your week goes fabulously.
And thank you so much again, Amy. Not just for now, but for everything. And I honestly am truly honoured to be sitting here talking to you. And I love you with all my heart.
I love you as well.
And the crunchies will keep coming.
I can say that they have not created a weight issue yet. So
that's always good.
Pounds going up, I might have to limit myself a little bit more, but until then, I enjoy it. Yeah.
No. Make sure you give my love to Kat and Brendan.
Oh, I will, absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much. You guys have a fabulous week.
Okay, take care.
I want you guys to know this is our 99th Tech Talk.
Wow.
So the next Tech Talk that you guys see is going to be a little bit different. We're coming up behind the scenes. So next week, we have a lot of giveaways. We have a lot of fun going on. We're almost, so our next Tech Talk is 100 Tech Talks. So thank you,
that's
Carmel.
Amazing, Amy, and congratulations.
Yes, thank you. All right, have a great day.
You too. Thanks very much, Amy. Bye.
You're welcome.
Bye, everyone.